Xbox strategy is a little weird. They get exclusives and then they go to other consoles soon after. And despite giving the impression that they're going to be exclusives and even the explicit words that they're going to be exclusives, they still go to other consoles. So what does that mean for Xbox owners? What does that mean for the remainder of this console generation for Xbox? And what does this mean for you, the busy gamer? What's up, guys? I am the Dadimer, and I help busy gamers decide what to play to balance fun and family. So if you're an Xbox owner, you might feel disappointed. Not because of Indiana Jones actually going over to PlayStation 5, but really because you felt lied to. Phil Spencer did say that Indiana Jones was actually not part of the games that were going over to PlayStation and Nintendo. Back a few months ago when all the hype was around Sea of Thieves and Grounded.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
When I saw Indiana Jones going to PlayStation 5, I was really, at first glance, I was like, oh, please be Plan B. Like, this has got to be a backup plan because there's not a ton of pre-orders. That's what I had in my head at the time of the announcement. But then we have Phil Spencer doing an interview at Gamescom, which I'll leave up on the screen right here, and you can pause, read it, and then continue with the rest of the video. If not, I'll leave a link to the website in the description. Pretty much the entire interview is, you can pretty much condense it into the message that Xbox is a business. Let's not forget that Xbox bought Activision Blizzard for not cheap at all. I mean, we're talking over $70 billion between just that and Bethesda, and it has even more companies under its resume as far as now in-person first-party developers. So with all that being said, really their focus right now is to get money back from that investment rather than sell hardware. They're obviously still making money on games, and so regardless of what platform you play these on, Xbox is still getting a cut on these platforms. So their profitability, I mean, is definitely there. They're obviously still making money. But what about the guy who only owns Xbox? Will we see Xbox exclusives again? In my opinion, probably not this generation. Xbox does care about selling software. It may look like it doesn't, but they actually do. Just recently, they've announced their 2TB Series X console, their all-digital console, and the 1TB Series S. I made a video about how if the Series S actually still makes sense, despite all these high and low-end ways to play. We even have rumors of Xbox and their next console after this current generation that we're in right now. But the issue is it could be that recouping the investment that they just made securing their developers may really take a few years to do. So a way that Xbox can go is this. I think what it can really do is, I mean, this generation, it's spent its time acquiring these developers, and really they have the ability to make a lot of first-party exclusives. I mean, why buy these studios just to have them end up on other consoles? They really could ride this generation out and start afresh with a new generation of Xbox. Right now, what could be in the works is them getting their engine ready to go for the next round. I mean, the 9th generation hasn't been the best as far as the video game releases have been, so it could be to that these bigger companies that this generation might just kind of be maybe a loss and just kind of move on from there. On the other hand, I mean, they really could fumble the ball in this area and just forget Xbox only people and, you know, go software only. Let's hope they don't do that, please, for its own sake and for the sake of the competitors of PlayStation and Nintendo. We do not need them having more power than they already do. So what does this mean for you, the busy gamer? Indiana Jones is the most, if not one of the most, Xbox exclusives, well, former Xbox exclusives now, I guess, coming out in 2024. So this has got to be disappointing news to hear that this is coming to PS5, not because of console wars. I mean, who needs console wars anyway? But really, if you're looking at an Xbox, you might think, what is the point of buying an Xbox? You might be thinking, what is the point of buying an Xbox if there's barely any exclusives? I can tell you one thing that sets Xbox apart from the other two is that Xbox really does allow you to play its older titles with complete ease. Yeah, there might not be a ton of new games in this entire generation, but the access of older titles that you have is actually really good and really smooth. Yeah, Nintendo has its Nintendo Service Online, which to me really didn't start out great, but over time has built up a library. Would we like to be able to purchase individual games for sale, stuff like Mario RPG, instead of having a Switch redo of this game? Yeah, I mean, if you're splitting the service among 7 other people, it's extremely cheap, and the library has built up over time. So I always go back and forth on this service. And then PlayStation Plus, I personally sub to the lowest tier of this because I don't like the amount at which you have to subscribe to the highest tier for drip feed PS3 games and PSP games is just not really worth it to me. With Xbox, you can easily just go buy Splinter Cell Chaos Theory for like $10 or less. One question I've been considering lately with the Xbox is, now with the cheapest possible option of getting you into the Xbox ecosystem, the Fire Stick, along with the most expensive $600 2 terabyte Xbox Series X, there's a really good range of consoles for you to get into. So I've questioned, does the Series S still make sense as an investment into the ecosystem, or is it that middle child getting squeezed in there? That video you can check out right here. How great is that?